Hey guys, it's Friday, so it's time for the Retro Buzz, and we've got a pretty exciting show for you, I must say, but I was instructed I must introduce this person first, per the contract, Mr. Douglas Smith. You're back!
I don't know how I got the first introductory. Normally it's the opposite, you hold me at the end, but I'll take it.
Is it Doug Day or something, or what?
I don't know about that. Just going to say no, it's not Doug Day. Doug Day doesn't really roll off the tongue smooth enough. It sounds like an infection more than anything. Anyways, glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here, and we also have this. Glenn, what's the reason that we introduced Doug first? Are you feeling okay?
Well, I am, and I wanted to show you, I am such a big fan of Missile Command. I made my own way back in the day, and I got to tell you something. What's that? You guys hear that?
No, it's probably your PC or something.
What?
I know he was. What is this now?
What the heck happened? Oh my God! What happened?
There appears to be some sort of nuclear holocaust that was potentially orchestrated.
Your things even came out. My goodness! Hey, you guys. Do you hear me? Am I still on the air?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, the emergency broadcast system's all that's left thanks to you now.
What?
You know what? I don't know what happened, but I think we have some good games to talk about today.
Yes, and I'm going to get to our guests. We have some guests with us here as well. Glenn figures out where his face went. We have joining with us from New Wave Toys, we've got Shiloh Prychak. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. Happy Halloween.
Hey there, game gurus. Welcome back to the channel. Well, today on Glenn's Retro Show, we're going to take a look at the new product from New Wave Toys. I'm waiting about a year for this. This was pre-ordered about a year ago, actually I think to the month. It's the new Missile Command by New Wave Toys. We'll do a little unboxing of the unit, a little gameplay, and some final thoughts. Let's get started. Okay, so once again, New Wave Toys, they package everything really, really well. I like doing an unboxing from them because you can see really how well they box their items. So I'm going to open this thing up right here. But even on the box, you can see they have the Replicated logo, New Wave Toys logo, Missile Command, some information on here. So they just do a really nice job. What's really nice about New Wave Toys, and they put a lot of time and effort into the small details as well when they release their items. Now, this did take about a year to come out. But as usual, that good old parts shortage is still something that still is in existence right now. So you can't fault them for that. But usually their stuff is more than well worth the wait. So if I can get this box open here. There we go. We all know how I am about boxes. Press again here. And bring this across. There we go. Put this aside for a second. And I take apart our outer box. We have our nice, beautiful inner box. So let's get this one out of here. Just kind of neat all the details they do put on the boxes. Again, I know I'm weird. I know I like keeping boxes. I'm strange, but that's just how I am. And it looks like there's another decal in here holding this one shut. Let me just open this up right now while I have my X-Acto knife here. Put it aside. We'll take a look at the box itself. Again, it's kind of neat what they do over here. Get a little bit closer here so you can kind of see it. They have the Atari logo, Missile Command, dimensions of the unit. They have their nice logo here, distributed by New Wave Toys. This is kind of neat. Do not fork this side up, serial number. It would be kind of cool if they did actually put the serial number that they use for their machines on here, but I guess you can put that on afterwards. Fracture from Atari, and again, just all around the box is pretty much the same thing. But it's just kind of, stuff like that is a nice little detail that they did. That's kind of nice. It's all right, we'll open up the box here. And what's good is, it looked like none of this was damaged in shipping. The outer box did have a dent in it, but the inside box, thankfully, came out good. This is what we really care about right here. So let's get this sucker out. Best we can. Here we go. Put it down there. And of course, Glenny will be saving this box as well. Let's take a nice close-up shot of the box here. It's in the cellophane. But again, New Wave Toys really does a nice job with their boxes here. If you are a collector, you'll be very happy with what they do with their boxes here. It gives a limited edition 11.3-inch play scale arcade machine. They just do such a nice job. I like what they do here. They have the Alpha, Beta, and Omega colors here for saves high scores, which is kind of nice. A lot of machines don't save high scores. Official arcade ROM, real wood cabinet. Of course, more specifications down here. And you know, when they were first releasing their items, you can see right here, they had these little silhouettes before of the arcade machines. Now you can kind of see what they all are. So I'm kind of curious what they'll be building next. Well, that's enough on this. Let's get this cellophane off here. Once again, I'll need my good old X-Acto knife to get that started. There we go. Okay, let's get this thing unboxed. You know, I am crazy about these boxes. I always collect them. I think they're just as much a work of art as the machines itself. But let's open this guy up here as carefully as we can. Oh, there we go. Much easier. And you know, even when opening up the box, you can see right here, you know, they have the decal of the machine, the side artwork over here. When you open it up, you get a better shot of that artwork here on the side. I do like how New Wave Toys really takes time and detail for collectors like myself to make sure everything is really, really nice. And of course, we have our owner's manual right here. We'll take a closer look at that. And of course, we have our little coins in here as well. They always include some nice little coins. Sometimes they include other things like rubber feet. It looks like in this, they just have the coins. We do have our charging cable. It is still USB-A to a USB micro. We have our one foam top which protects everything. This is what we really care about, is the machine itself. Let's get this thing out of the box. Sometimes it's secured very well. I want to show you guys how that's in here. You know, they secure this stuff very well in a lot of foam to make sure everything comes out okay. And maybe I'll get it out easier this way. That was much easier. Okay. Come to Papa. There we go. Okay, the one thing I'll notice off the bat is, like I said, in the past they had included sometimes extra rubber feet for the bottom of the unit. This time they did not do that, and it's not a big deal. I mean, it's just rubber feet. This over here. So we can see everything here is inside the nice packing bag, which again they do a nice job of sealing up here. There we go. Put this bag out of the way for a moment. So let's take a quick look at the machine itself now. What I like about New Wave Toys is they really spend a lot of time on details, even down to like little rivets here on the trackball. Now the trackball itself, Atari had their large XL trackball. I have to admit that it feels very nice. Their decal here again feels very nice. It has almost like a rubbery feel to it, which is kind of nice. Volcano buttons on here. We have everything labeled. The decals, you know, with these older games, actually old games, the decals kind of bring it back to that era. And they do have their 3 bases. And the buttons feel nice. Now, I know I've seen some other reviews Now the player 1, player 2 start button here, the volcanoes illuminate, but the buttons for the actual missile base is never illuminated. So people said, why did they illuminate? Well, it's because the arcade didn't illuminate, so that's why they don't. Their artwork on the side here, again, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's just beautiful artwork. Again, I grew up between Asteroid, Space Invaders, and Missile Command. These are like my 3 games I enjoyed so much as a kid, my absolute favorite. So I'm really enjoying just looking at the artwork on this over here. The control panel on both sides. Their coin door, of course, is metal. The machine is wood. They have the Fox T-molding on here, but the doors do open up. Sometimes, it open up pretty easy. There's a little storage bay down here. You usually put your charging cable down in there. And the coin doors illuminate. Very, very nice. Now on the back here, this is nice as well, and there's a couple of surprises. So on the back, we still have our power button here. We have a volume control. I'm not sure what this is for, if the machine had that, but it's there. They have a bunch of Atari decals on the back. We have our speaker here with the fake latch. Our charging, which is micro USB. But if you look at this real good, you see there are some things missing that they've been including. One thing that's missing are USB ports on the back to add an external controller, and no external HDMI. So they've been releasing the new machines with USB ports to put in external controllers on there, and of course HDMI back there to put on an external TV. And I'm a little sad that there's no USB on there, because a game like this would probably work really well with one of my full-size trackballs they're putting on a full-size television. Now, it could have been licensing. Maybe they weren't allowed to put the ROM on a full-size TV with external controls because other companies won't mention them, have lockdown licensing. And again, I'm just paraphrasing. I have no idea if that's the case. But it's surprising that it didn't have that, because putting an external trackball on this would make the game even more fun. So it's a little sad that you don't have it on here. Now, the real big thing about this, I haven't even turned it on yet, but the real big thing is they tried something new here on this Missile Command. I'm not sure if you noticed it already, but their screen, there's a lot of reflection on that for a reason. They have like a lens on there, and they are trying what's called a CRT, a way to turn a LCD to look like a CRT. Now, here, me just looking at it myself, with any light in here, there's a lot of reflection on it, but I will say it does have, with it turned off, it looks like a slightly reflective effect, but also I see there's a dust mark all the way up there on the screen behind this screen, and there's absolutely no way in the world I'm going to be able to clean that off. That, again, when it's turned on, you may not notice it, but when it turned off, man, that is bugging the hell out of me. But the big thing is, how well does this new lens, I'm guessing it's like a Fresnel lens on there of some kind, if it really does make it look like a CRT. And again, for me just looking at it right now, it looks neat, but I'm getting a lot of reflection from the lights in the room, probably more so than I would have gotten normally. But let me get a little charge in this bad boy. Let's turn it on and give it a shot. Okay, so I have it set up and it's charging right now. I have a couple lights in the room. It's not very bright in here, but I do have some lights. You can see the reflections on here. So I'm going to turn this thing on the first time with the lights on in the room, and I'll do it again with the lights off. So let's hit the power button right here, hold it for a second or two, and the machine should begin powering up. Okay, let's turn this thing off, and we're going to try it again with the lights out. Okay, let's turn this thing on now and see how it looks with the lights out in the room. I can definitely see the speakers it's on the fullest volume right now. Speakers sound great. A lot of amplification out of there, but none of it's distorted, even at 100%. So I'm going to move this a little bit so we can get a better camera angle. As you can see here, it does have a nice light up marquee. You know, that's something you could always turn on and off. It's got the 2 fake speakers on the side. You have the 2 light up volcano buttons, and down below is the light up corn doors. We'll try and get a shot of that later. But the screen itself, let me take a close look myself. I will say that this filter, or this lens over the LCD panel, does give a really nice effect. Now, of course, we're getting a lot of light in the room for playing in a lit room to reflect on here. But I gotta say, you know, it gives a little bit of a curved effect that you would get with a screen, because the CRT this generation was not flat screen, it was curved a little bit. And I gotta say, you know, New Wave Toys always try to innovate, and I do think that, you know, I was a little worried, I'm gonna be honest, on how this lens effect would work, but I think it looks pretty damn nice. Now, just in my case itself, there's a piece of dust like right in the center of the screen that's driving me insane. That you can see on certain times the machine is off, but actually right now I don't see it too bad. But the lensing effect on here, I have to say, it's impressive. I don't know who came up with this particular thought to put this lens on here, but it does give a nice curved effect here on the corners and at the top. So I do think it gives a nice effect. But let me get some gameplay footage here right now. Okay, we're gonna pop in a coin and hit the 1 player. And here we go, got my 3 bases and my trackball. Trackball feels actually really damn good. And of course, what you want to do is launch from a base that's closest to the warheads coming down, and not miss them, obviously. Let's see if I can pull this off. Missed everyone. That's just me playing the game. I may love a game, doesn't mean I'm good at the game. Oh, they got City's history. I will say that trackball does feel very, very nice. Of course, I'm kind of cramped over at an angle trying to get this gameplay going. But the display, you know, I'm really impressed with this CRT effect lens. A lot of people just died. Now, let me give you my final thoughts of the new Replicade Missile Command. Okay, so what's my final thoughts of the Replicade New Wave Toys Missile Command? Well, there's a lot of things to like about this. First of all, New Wave Toys does an excellent job of recreating these machines in a 1/6 scale. It's beautiful. The corn doors light up. It's wood. It's got a light up marquee. The trackball feels really, really good. The Centipede was really good as well. This says it's an XL, much larger trackball. Got the light up volcano buttons. The artwork, including the control panel, it's got like a rubbery feel to it. It feels very nice. All the artwork is done very nice. They do a really good job recreating the machine. Again, if you like these type of games, it's a must buy. For me, this was definitely a must buy. I purchased this myself. If anyone's wondering, I buy all of the New Wave Toys items. The other thing is just a little surprising to me. It is surprising to me, though, however, that there's no USB ports in the back. Again, maybe they didn't think you could use external controllers on there, but it'd been nice to use like one of my trackballs or any trackball plugged in, an HDMI out to put on a full-size TV, so you could have this on your shelf and and play it, but also being able to play it on a full-size machine like there are other machines that they've been releasing, like Qbert and Dragon's Lair. But the biggest surprise and the biggest worry was this lens to give it like a CRT effect. And I have to say that looking at it, it does a really nice job of taking a flat LCD panel and giving it a curved effect. That's the plus. The minus is it does get a lot of the ambient light in the room and refracts that on the screen as well. but you can, move it around and put it in a different area, I suppose. But I have to say, the only other thing I notice is at the top where it gives the high score, you kind of see almost look like separate glass effect again from that mirror.
So if you look right now, I have the backlight for the marquee off, and you can see on the screen there's no additional light reflecting over the high score area. So you can see everything here on the screen looks really, really good. I do like the effect. Again, if the lights are out in the room, you don't get any ambient light reflecting on the screen. So right now you can see the high score is fine. There's no issues there at all. But in a moment, I'm going to go in the menu, and I'm going to turn the backlight back on. Here we go, back in the menu. And I'm going to turn on the backlight. And as soon as I do that, you can see that's the distortion I was seeing. It was just the Missile Command light up marquee being captured by the lens and going over the high score area. When you turn it off, again, it looks fine. So the marquee is tilted down a little bit, because that's how it was in the arcade game. So it looks like that's one of the downsides to this new display, is it's able to get that light and kind of distort it out. A little distracting, but you can turn off the backlight.
So let me show you, there is a menu system in here, and I just want you to see, this is, again, I have some lights in the room, not very close to the machine, but you can see how much that reflective curvature gets into the display if you don't turn the lights out. So I'm going to turn the lights out right now. And you can see the screen itself is very, very sharp. But if you notice right here at the top, I'm going to point right at the very top where the high score would be. You can see how that lensing effect kind of still affects that top of the screen. But I think overall, the effect of making it look like a CRT works very well. But you can see in the menu system right here, we have screen brightening. You can change that. You have the marquee light, whether you want it on or off. The trackball sensitivity, I think, worked pretty well, but being a small trackball, I might want to put it to high, so it goes a little bit faster when you're moving it. But again, that trackball works really, really well. You also have the attract mode audio, which right now is on, which surprised me, because normally in the arcades, I don't think the sound was on, at least not in the pizzerias I went to back in the day. But it's kind of nice to have it on if it's sitting on your shelf. Put the volume up a little bit, but not too high. It would probably be really, really nice. Number of cities, bonus cities, you can adjust as well. And of course, you can reset the high scores, because it does save the high score. But again, that's the lensing effect. You see how even the Missile Command is kind of curved a little bit? It would look like that on a CRT. So they did a really nice job with that. So overall, even though lighting seems to be an issue and there's a little distortion of the text at the top, but not even a distortion, there's like an overlay of the light maybe from the screen being pushed on there. I still think this filter looks really, really good. But I do think overall, aside from those shortcomings, it was really innovative to do that to the screen, and I do think that it's pretty nice. Especially the first machine they've done it on was this. So kudos to New Wave Toys for that. So overall, I give this a 9 out of 10. Again, I'm a little impartial. I love Missile Command, so I love having a small one. That 1% taken off was definitely no USB ports and HDMI out on the back. And that's really it. So if you're interested at all in New Wave Toys products, just realize that these were pre-sale orders, but they do release them once all the pre-sale is out. And that's nice about New Wave Toys. If you pre-ordered it, you get it first, and then everyone else can get theirs. It's not like you do a pre-order and you can go into a Walmart and pick it up before the pre-order people. So that's kind of nice. But they do release it. But after that, once they're gone, they're generally gone. So this goes for about $150, which again, I still think is very, very worth it. But these all go up in price. So I know they're older machines. You can go for $4, $5, $6 or more $100 after that. These are very collectible. And I definitely think this is definitely a beautiful one to collect. But that's it for today's episode, everyone. So if you did like the video, please like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. It takes a second for you guys, but it would just help me out on my channel. And that's it. So remember, no matter what game you play, no matter how you play Missile Command yourself, just remember to tell your family and friends that you love them, and game on.
good dog.